it's Pandora here, and today I am divesting decks. I just watched Katie Flowers do it, and then I watched Tom Benjamin, who Katie got the idea from, and I feel ready. Now feels like as good a time as any. I actually have been doing a lot of decluttering lately, and I've actually been getting somewhere in my decluttering process for a change. I've gotten rid of books, clothes, the kids' toys, just general bric-a-brac and junk and things, and I have actually already sold or traded a good 12 to 16 of my decks. So I feel ready to do this. I don't really have a particular number in mind of how many decks I want to get rid of or how many I want to end up with in my collection by the end of it, but we'll just see how I go, and let's do this. So I shall start with the top shelf of my tarot cabinet here. First and foremost, I've got the first edition Wild Unknown Tarot. I definitely will be keeping that one. I had the second edition and I sold it, which I kind of sort of regret from a collector's point of view because it is out of print now and it had superior cardstock to the mass published edition. But from a reader's and just a reading perspective, I don't regret it because the first edition is my preferred deck to read with. And then I've got the Shaman Caselli deck, which I will be keeping. That was the second deck I ever owned, and I really quite like it. It's a nice classic deck as far as classic decks go. It's got a really beautiful art style and I really like it. I've got the first edition Lumina Tarot there and the Connected and Free Alchemist Oracle. Those will both be staying. I've thought about getting rid of the Lumina Tarot before, but then when I think it through, I always don't want to. I've got the first edition Flowers of the Night Oracle, which will be staying. The Magic and Manifestation affirmation cards, I haven't reached for them for a while. They are on the maybe pile. And then I've got the Cat Comfort cards by Cat Lover and Kitty Wisdom. They are adorable and they're out of print now. They're definitely staying. The Joyful Expectancy cards for pregnancy and birth will be staying. The Tattoo Oracle may go. That is the Tattoo Oracle by Charmaine Wilson and Tennille Napoli. So Charmaine Wilson is a psychic medium that we have here in Australia, and I got that deck from my sister-in-law when she went to see her. I've got the Moon Oracle there, which I will be keeping for now at least. I actually haven't worked with it all that much, so I need to acquaint myself with it better. Then I've got the first edition Crystal Grid Oracle by Nicola McIntosh. That's now been mass published by Rockpill Publishing, and I love my first edition, so I will be keeping it. I will be keeping the Wooden Tarot, love it. The Ludi Lescott will be staying. The Royal Tarot, I'm not sure. I might get rid of that. And then I've got the Chakra Mindset Balance Oracle cards. I might get rid of them. I bought them when I was shopping with Avalon in Cairns when we went out for a coffee and shopping date. So they've got a nice memory attached to them. And they are out of print now. So I don't know, they're on the maybe pile. And then I've got the Aboriginal Goddess Chakra cards by Mel Brown. I will be keeping them. The Awakened Soul Oracle will be staying. The Fenestra Tarot was purchased from Avalon when she was doing her big moving sale, and I find the artwork really quite lovely, so I will be keeping that. It does a good reading. The Star Child Tarot Akashic will be staying. I love it. The Phalakos Tarot will be staying, of course. I will be keeping the Mary L. I love it. I'll be keeping the Bonefire Tarot, and that's just the packaging for one of my other decks. That should probably go down here with it. And at the back I've just got some more packaging as well. So that is the first shelf. So on the next shelf I've got the Hidden Waters Tarot, which I will be keeping. The Numinous Tarot will be staying, of course. This is where I keep my Shadowscapes Tarot, and I want to keep that. That's a Rider-Waite-Smith deck with the blue and white floral backing. I like that, and that will be staying. The Penny Dreadful will be staying. I've been reaching for it a little bit lately, and it's really quirky and cool. It's a nice collector's item, so I do want to keep that. This is where I keep my my Tarot of the Hidden Realm by Julia Jeffries and Barbara Moore. So I love that one. I will be keeping it. This is the Steampunk Tarot by Barbara Moore and Ali Fell. This was gifted to me by a friend who no longer wanted it, so I really quite like that. That will be staying. That is these meditation and affirmation cards. These were just a little cheap pack that I asked my husband to buy me one day, and he said yes. That's the Llewellyn Tarot. That will be staying. And that is the Mystic Tarot by Mystic Meg. I will be keeping that. That was the first deck that I ever owned. So I've got a soft spot for it. And I've got one of my oldest pieces of amethyst there with it. And then I've got these little cards. These are Daily Tonic, Little Affirmations, 24 Invigorating Quotations for Daily Life. And they're quite sweet, so I will be keeping them. So on this shelf, I've got the Tarot of the She by Emily Carding. That will be staying. Actually, that should probably go up with the other Schiffer decks. And then I've got the Intuitive Wisdom Oracle cards by Chrissy Foreman Cranich. I love those, and I will be keeping them. These just come out of some affirmation decks. I will be keeping all of my affirmation decks because I really like them. I probably won't buy any more affirmation decks, but the ones that I do have I really like, and I'll be keeping for now. Just look at this one. This is the one that I chose yesterday. Attaining Peace. Today I turn within to find the source of my experiences. There I find the peace that comes from seeking truth. I understand that the riches I discover within myself have a greater value than all the wealth of the outside world. Step by step I continue my spiritual quest. Little by little I free myself, rising ever higher and attaining true inner peace. So how perfect is that? I chose that when I was thinking about doing the Divesting Decks video. So I think it's really appropriate. Oh, then I've got the Babylonian Tarot, sorry. Oh, I never really got into this. It's quite nice. The art's nice and the colours are nice, but it just doesn't speak to me. So I think that one will go. And then I've got the Legend the Arthurian Tarot. That is really lovely, and that will be staying. My Dame Darcy Mermaid Tarot will be staying. I really quite love it. This is one of the earlier editions, so it's on different cardstock and it doesn't have the gold gilded edges. And that's definitely staying. I love it. I keep meaning to buy her Queen Alice Tarot as well. I think she does a really good job of capturing the quirkiness of Alice in Wonderland with that deck. So Dame Darcy's staying. And just here I've got my Tarot of Vampires by Ian Daniels. I hadn't reached for this one for a while, but I recently reached for it for a reading for a friend, and it delivered a great reading. I still really love it, and so that will be staying. This is the Jessica Galbraith Enchanted Oracle. This one I've thought about getting rid of before, but I still kind of like it. It's got a guidebook by Barbara Moore, and it's interesting because Jessica Galbraith was a very popular and very successful pagan artist, and then she converted to Christianity in a similar style to Doreen Virtue. She just completely drank the Kool-Aid of fundamentalist Christianity and denounced all her previous work, but I do actually really like this deck, and I've thought about getting rid of it, but I kind of just want to keep it for now anyway. So down here I've got all of the aforementioned affirmation decks that will be staying. I've got my Mythic Tarot, which I was gifted by Katie Flowers, so I will definitely be keeping that because I love it, and I love the fact that it was gifted to me by somebody who I really think is fantastic. And then I've got just some empty bags and empty boxes and things. This one is a really nice tarot pouch that I don't have a deck in at the moment. And then I've got my Dragon Tarot by Peter Krakenick. This one is actually out of print now, so I definitely will be keeping that. It was a very big favourite of mine for a long time. And then I've got my Crystal Visions Tarot, that's staying. What's this one? Yes, that is the Slow Holler Tarot, that's staying. This is the Angel Oracle by Sulla Smith Wolfring, and it's got really quite lovely artwork and just a little key phrase on the back there. Religion, there is no religion higher than truth. So I really quite like that. I'll be keeping it. Then I've got my Colour Mage Oracle, that's staying. This is one of the only Marseille style decks that I've got. It is the Octopus Press deck, I believe, and I never actually kept the box for it for some reason, but that's quite nice. It'll be staying. Then I've got the Goddess Tarot and the Lover's Path Tarot, both by the artist Chris Walder. Then I've got another Rider-Waite-Smith deck, that is the Universal Weight. I've got an empty bag and my Toth deck, which is in this special bag. Wild Child Creations on Etsy is the creator of these bags. And I don't know, I've thought about getting rid of my Toth deck because I don't use it that much and I don't really get the Thoth system, but I think that I would like to keep it for now. And then I've got this little Mind Body Spirit deck here, whoops, that I got from Mind Body Spirit magazine, and it's just a little like Pippish Marseille style deck. So I will keep that because I haven't got too many Marseille style decks. So now we've got the very bottom shelf here of the cabinet, and I've got a bunch of tarot and similar themed books up here. I won't be going through my book collection today, I'll just be going through decks. And so I've already taken out the Doreen Virtue decks that I want to get rid of. For some reason I've got 2 copies of the Angel Therapy Oracle cards. I think someone was giving them away and I said yes, even though I already had them. And the Daily Guidance from Your Angels cards, they never get reached for, and neither do the Mary Queen of Angels cards. I tend to reach for my Alana Fairchild Mother Mary cards instead, and so I won't be keeping them. I will be keeping the Guardian Angel cards. These are now sold with only Radley Valentine's name on them, but I do like them. I think it's interesting the way that a nice wash deck is still so, it remains so true to the tarot system. That's really interesting to me. And then I like the Indigo Angel cards, so I'll be keeping them. Goddess Guidance, Ascended Masters, Healing with the Fairies, and Magical Mermaids and Dolphins I will be keeping, even if Doreen Virtue says that I shouldn't. The Fairies Oracle and the Heart of Fairy Oracle I will be keeping. I haven't reached for them for a while, but I do really like them. The El Goliath Tarot deck I just got, and I like it, so that will be staying. My Alana Fairchild decks, oh, I do want to keep most of them. I maybe will get rid of the Isis Oracle and maybe the Earth Warriors and the Love Your Inner Goddess. Maybe the Divine Circus will go as well. I've been trying to find a buyer for these 2 decks, the Crystal Tarot by Philip Permut and the Wisdom Seekers Tarot, so they will be going. The Work Your Light Oracle by Rebecca Campbell and with artwork by Danielle Knoll will be staying. I really like it, and I do believe that I will buy their next deck when it comes out as well. All of my Tony Carmine Salerno decks will be staying. I probably won't buy any more though, because he does double up on the artwork that he uses sometimes, but I do really like these decks and they will be staying. All of these decks will be staying. You've got the Universe Has Your Back cards, Magical Spell cards by Lucy Cavendish, Earth Magic by Stephen D. Farmer, and then these 2 Sonia Choquette decks. Not because they're my most reached for decks, but because I really like Sonia Choquette. I resonate with what she does, and I want to keep them. Oh, the Gods and Titans Oracle and the Goddesses and Sirens Oracle. I actually can't decide. I haven't reached for them for a while. And then I've got the Blessed Bee cards. I sort of haven't reached for them for a while either. I will be keeping all of the Lucy Cavendish and Jasmine Beckett Griffith decks. I have all 5 of the decks that they've done together. I actually got rid of my Lucy Cavendish and Selena Finesse decks, not because I don't like the artwork, but because they just never really spoke to me that clearly and I didn't connect with them anymore. And then I've got all of my Rockpool Publishing decks down here. They will all be staying. I really like all of them. I will be keeping my Animal Dreaming cards. I really like them. And the Creature Teacher cards by the same guy, Scott Alexander King. Those are actually a gift for my son and he never took much of an interest in them, but I like them. I have been trying to find a buyer for my out-of-print first edition of the Oracle of the Dragon Fae and my Dreams of Gaia out-of-print edition with the black backing, but it seems to not be as collectible as I would have thought. I got them in a trade. I traded my other Starchild Tarot Akashic in the traditional card size for these, and now I'm trying to sell them and I just can't find a buyer. I just don't love them. I already got rid of my Messenger Oracle by Raven Phelan, and the Oracle of the Dragonfey is another one that doesn't read that clearly for me. And the Dreams of Gaia, I can respect that she's changed the system, so it's a very non-traditional system and a new system that she's come up with, and I can respect that, and if it's for you then that's great, but it's just not for me. So I might have to lower the price of those to try and find a buyer. They're just not that easy to find a buyer for, and now that it's really readily available with the other backing, the blue backing, I think some people don't prefer the black backing, and it now comes in a pocket edition, so we'll see how I go trying to find a buyer for those. So up here I've got the out of print first edition of the 8 Coins Tattoo Tarot, which was originally published as 78 cards. I never reached for this one because the cardstock is really quite delicate. It's not my favourite cardstock, and it's not a good deck to read with, so I probably should buy the mass-produced copy of that one. But I do think I kind of want to keep it for now. It's a nice collector's edition. I love the fact that I own a piece of the history of this deck. And I've also got the Naked Heart Tarot here in the out of print first edition. I don't know how I'm going to go finding a buyer for these because I don't know how collectible they actually are. I've got the magnetic flip top there that kind of doesn't close properly once I put the book in it. And the cards themselves have a glossy cardstock and a black edging. There was actually a widespread problem with the quality of the cardstock in a lot of the decks, which was a bit of a disaster for the creator. However, my deck came in really good condition, and the only problem is the black edging is kind of like, it's nice and shiny and it looks nice, but it sort of doesn't hold up the greatest to shuffling. So I don't know how I'll go finding a buyer for that. So now I've got my pile of decks that are definitely going to go, and my maybe pile of decks that I'm going to have to look in the eye a little bit. So I've got the Magic and Manifestation cards here, and I've just had a little look at them, and I think I really do like the artwork. I do want to keep them, and maybe I'll put them somewhere where I can reach for them a little bit more. And my Blessed Bee cards, I just can't bring myself to get rid of them. I really enjoy them when I do use them. Oh, my Alana Fairchild decks. Oh, I don't really want to get rid of any of them. These ones I don't like and I don't reach for as much as my other Alana Fairchild decks, which would be my 2 Kuan Yin decks and my Sacred Rebels and Mother Mary. But I do still really like them. There's a funny story that I put up on the Starting Out Solitary channel about how I used to work with Goddess Isis, and then she sort of broke up with me because I wasn't following her guidance. But I do still really like this deck, and so I think I will keep all of my Alana Fairchild decks. The Chakra Mindset I do still really like. I think I will keep them for now. And the Gods and Titans and Goddesses and Sirens, I think I'll keep them as well. Some of them aren't my favourite representations of the deities depicted, but I do find the guidebooks by Stacey DeMarco to be a really good resource. And so even just for that reason alone, I think it's worth keeping these decks. And so they are staying. So all of the maybe decks are staying, and I've got 12 decks that are definitely going. So there you have it, folks. I just decided to get rid of 12 decks out of my collection, and I just counted, and I now have a neat, wait for it, 100 decks left in my collection. And some people may think, oh my god, Gemma, that's crazy. Why would you keep that many decks in your collection? Like, that's really excessive. And other people, again, would be like, LOL, that's cute. You call that a collection? And really, to me, the size of my collection is perfect. I've got a lot of really nice decks that I really enjoy and love working with, and like, to me, it's just the right size of deck. I've really only got a few decks on my wish list now, and I'm happy with where I'm at with my collecting. I did watch Arwen Lynch, and she was saying that she has a modest collection of 400 decks, I think it was. And I went, I wouldn't call that modest myself. Not that that's a bad thing. Like, you can collect as many decks as you like, especially if you've got really cool decks in your collection and you've got, you know, out of print and historic decks and things like that. That's wonderful. But for me, my deck collection is just the right size for me. and I'm happy with where I'm at now. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you're having a great day. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you next time. Bye.